Hi folks, today I'm going to talk about an M1895 Boer Mauser rifle, as I have done before. I rather enjoy these rifles, as you might have gathered. Today I'm going to talk about this rifle. This particular gentleman, this burgher, has gone to extreme lengths to tell us all about him. His name, where he comes from, the name of the town, etc. So what we have here is carved in the butt very neatly, P.J.Pretorius, the name of his farm, which is Grootfontein, which means a big fountain, Wijk 1 or Wijk 1, Vryheid, which is a little town near the Natal border actually, and then it's got ZAR. Now you might ask, what is award? What is Wijk? And Wijk is actually a ward. Many of the commandos were broken up into different areas within that district, so there might have been Wijk 1, Wijk 2, Wijk 3, etc. So he's telling us that he was in Wijk 1 of the Vrijheid Commando. And interestingly enough, Commandant General Louis Botha was from the town of Vrijheid. He farmed in that area, so there's a good possibility that this gentleman knew the Commandant General Louis Botha. Now, this rifle has seen extensive service. You can see at some stage of the game this was very crisply done. It would have been very neat, which it still is, but you can see the wear on the butt. On the other side of the actual butt, we've got a very, very good example of the ZAR coat of arms. It would have been a beautiful piece of artwork initially, but once again it's been rubbed, heavily by use. You can see the crispness of the carving is gone. And another item which I find quite fascinating, and I don't know the answer to, is on this side of the stock, just before the trigger guard, there's a very deep wear indentation. Now, to me, it appears that this has been continual rubbing against the saddle or against a piece of leather, a leather strap, or something. As you will know, with the Boer War, those people who've read all about the Boer War, there was a constant shout of opzal, or saddle up, saddle up. These guys were jumping on their horses, chasing after British columns, or suddenly being told to saddle up because they were being chased by the British. So these guys were continually on and off their horses. They rode for many, many long hours, sometimes through the night. And obviously this wear has happened while he was on horseback. So it'll be interesting to know what has caused that. We thought initially it might have been the use of a British scabbard, a cavalry carbine scabbard, but the scabbard is not long enough to have caused that. So there's a little mystery for you guys to have a think about. Now, in addition to that, we've got a bit more information. Initially, I looked up an FID map dated 1900. That's a Field Intelligence Department. And lo and behold, there was the farm Grootfontein, close to the town of Vryheid. It's on the road to Dundee. So found the farm, but unfortunately for me, that's where it came to a dead end. I wasn't able to get any more information on P.J.Pretorius. Now, luckily for me, there's a lady called Elne Watson who's into genealogy. She's very keen on the Boer War, and bless her soul, she kindly looked up some information for me. She's found another map, an original map from Vryheid, which would be from the ZAR Republic, dated 1886. And on the map it says that the original owner of the farm was a certain Jan Cornelius Pretorius. Now, 1886 is only 13 years before the outbreak of the Anglo-Boer War. So I'm assuming, and I don't know, that the rifle, P.J.Pretorius, might well have been the son of Jan Cornelius Pretorius. Could be. Now, the other thing that Elne's found is she got hold of a concentration camp record. And that's interesting in itself. She's managed to find a lady who's called Mrs. Mary Ann Pretorius, anglicised version, age 22. She gives the name of her farm as Grootfontein and the town as Vryheid. She said she was a bijwoner on the farm Grootfontein. That means a share farmer. Now, who knows? She might have been married to P.J.Pretorius. The concentration camp records were dated the 5th of April 1902. Now, that's shortly before the peace was declared, which was on the 30th of May 1902. So, trying to put two and two together, if this lady was P.J.Pretorius' wife, I'm not saying it was, but she could have been, it tends to indicate that this guy was still on commando. Many of the bitter enders fought to the end of the war. They were still in the field. There were 21,000 odd Boers still in the field when peace was signed. This lady's in a concentration camp with her little daughter Nellie, by the way, who was 2 years old. Was she the wife of P.J.Pretorius? Very interesting. Why was she there without her husband? I suggest because her husband was still on commando. So there we have it, a nice Boer rifle with an interesting history. Unfortunately, we've still got some question marks, but hopefully in due course, I'll be able to find out what the answer is. One last thing I almost forgot. On this rifle, unlike most other Boer rifles, there is a number 275 very clearly carved up against the butt plate. Now, it's not stamped, it's carved. We know for sure that many Boer rifles were actually captured by the British and used by the British, especially Mausers. Now, I've seen many, and there are many in my books as well, which are stamped IMVR, Imperial Military Railway Volunteers, and a number. Now, I've seen several of those. I've had one myself. They are all stamped. So they British used weapons, or captured Boer weapons used by the British. But I don't think this was, because it's not stamped, it's carved. I've never seen another Boer rifle captured by the British and used in this manner, or numbered in this manner. A gentleman in the UK, another collector, has another Boer rifle, the same as this, a Boer Mauser 1895. It's carved in the same style as this here. The burghers from the town of Vryheid in the ZAR. It also has a number, a different number, carved in exactly the same way. So I cannot say this for sure, but it tends to indicate to me that possibly the Vryheid commando might have been a bit more jacked up. They might have had a falconet or an officer who decided to keep a roll or a register of all the rifles handed out to the different members of that commando. I'd love to know. Maybe one day I'll find out. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you.